What's up, guys? Fat Merrill here. I got a joke for you today about the IRS man. The IRS man calls Mr. Smith. He said, Mr. Smith, we seem to have some strange fluctuations in your bank account. You've got large deposits coming in and large withdrawals going out. I was wondering if you could come in on Monday. We could discuss this and try to figure out whether this is income that you need to be paying taxes on, and what of this you should be claiming as losses. Mr. Smith said, okay, I can do that. IRS man said, I encourage you to go ahead and bring your lawyer with you, just in case there are any questions that you need to ask him to make sure you're on the safe side. And he said, I appreciate that, and I'll do it. Monday morning, Mr. Smith shows up at the IRS office with his lawyer. They walk in, they sit down, the IRS man says, Mr. Smith, the question here is these large sums of money going in and large sums of money coming out. We don't know what of this is income that you should be paying taxes on. So can you explain them to me? He said, well, if I'm being honest with you, he said, I'm a bit of a gambler. He said, I make large wagers on just about anything. IRS man says, well, can you give me an example? He said, you bet, I sure can. He goes, how about this? He said, are you much of a betting man? IRS man says, I've been known to make a wager on in my life. He said, all right. He said, well, how about this? I'll bet you $5,000 I can bite my own eye. IRS man says, what? Deal. They shake on it. So Mr. Smith pops out his glass eye, bites it, puts it back in. IRS man said, well, son of a bitch. He said, now don't worry, Mr. IRS man. He said, I'm going to give you a chance to win your money back and more. He said, I'll bet you $7,000 I can bite my other eye. IRS man thinks about it for a second. He goes, now he didn't come in here with no walking stick or seeing eye dog. His lawyer didn't lead him in, so there's no way both of his eyes are fake. He said, all right, you got a bet. They shake on it. Takes out his false teeth, bites his other eye. IRS man says, God dang it. Mr. Smith said, now don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a chance to win your money back and more. He said, as of right now, you're down to me $12,000. I'm going to bet you $20,000 on this next wager. That will more than get your money back. I'll bet you $20,000 I can stand on this side of your office and pee in a trash can on that side of your office and not miss a drop. IRS man says, you mean to tell me you're going to stand there and pee in a trash can over there and you're not going to miss a drop? I don't believe a man of your age especially has the water pressure that it takes to make that shot. He said, that's a bet. Mr. Smith said, all right. They shake on him. He goes and stands his back against the wall, whips it out, and pisses all over this IRS man's desk. He pees on his desk chair. He pees on the IRS man's lap. Pees all over all the paperwork. Just piss everywhere. IRS man jumps up and woohoo! He's excited. He done almost doubled his money back. His lawyer's sitting there just shaking his head going, son of a bitch. IRS man said, what's wrong with you? He said, well, before we walked in here, Mr. Smith told me that he could walk in the IRS man's office, piss all over his desk, and the IRS man would be happy about it. I just lost $100,000. You got to make sure you listen to how the bet is worded. This is just a little tip from your friend Fat Merrill. Like, subscribe, share. I'll be back with more.